Hello and welcome to another episode of Blastercated Painting. Today we're going to paint a bunch of guys that were grown in a tube that somehow think they're brothers, instead of just all being the same guy. Clones! So today we're going to be painting Rex in the 501st from Star Wars Shatterpoint by Atomic Mass Games. Let's do it. So first thing we're going to do is give these guys a spray of white. Then we're going to move on to Templar white with some Xpress medium. And this is going to go all over the entire miniature. So slap this on, try not to let it pool too much except for in the recesses, and just work your way through. And any place where that Xpress paint pools, just dry off your brush and then put the dry brush into the pooling and it will actually suck out some of that paint. And we're going to do the exact same for Rex. And next we're going to take some dead white and we are going to do a dry brush over all the miniatures, all those white spots. We're just gonna put this on there. We're not too concerned about streaking and stuff like that. It's just gonna be a light dry brush. Next, we're going to take some Grim Black with a little bit of Speedpaint medium, and we're going to go into all these spots where the bodysuit is showing, and we're just going to be putting that on there. Now, if we spill any over, we can just use some white to clean it up, but do your best to try to practice your brush control and keep it all within the lines. And if you do go over and you get to it fast enough, you can sometimes just use your finger to just wipe that right off there. And Rex is going to get this all over his pouches and his shoulder patch and also his bum skirt, because that's what we call it here on the channel. A bum skirt. Next, we're going to take some magic blue and we are going to start just putting it on those designs. So I did use a lot of reference photos to find out exactly where they were blue, but there's some on the chest and the shoulder pads, and there's also some on the helmets. And for Rex, his shoulder pad has the blue on it, and he also has blue markings on his helmet. So just look up some reference photos. I am always using reference photos for Star Wars or Marvel miniatures, and just find out where that blue is exactly supposed to be. Why is Rex so much better than all the other clones? I think that there's like an in-canon reason of he's like basically a first edition, like one of the first clones that they made from Jango Fett's genetic material, or they've done something else to him. Like I think they did different things for like people that were supposed to be like captains or commanders or something like that, but he excels apparently quite a bit, so he might as well just be the third version of Jango Fett, because Boba Fett's like the second version. I don't know, he just seems to be really good at what he does. As were the other clones, some of them are not so good. Not so good at what they do. We're also going to throw some blue on his trim of his bum skirt here. And we're going to take some AK Interactive Ducat Blue here, and we are just going to do sort of a stippling dry brush just on some of the more raised blue parts. So not really the helmet, because that's going to be hard to get to, but the shoulder pads, the knee pads, those areas. We're going to take some dark gray blue. We're going to rip up a makeup sponge here. As you can see, it's going to give us a jagged sort of edge. And we're going to just go through and just stipple on a couple spots of weathering. So when you're doing this, you don't really want to move the sponge side to side. You just want to dab at it. And that'll give you that sort of weathering. And we're going to take some Gravelord Grey, and this is going to go on their weapons. So their blasters and Rex's 2 little blaster pistols he has. Now we're going to take some black wash, and this is an extra step. You don't really have to do this, but I really wanted to punch up these lines. So we're going to take this black wash, and we're just going to put very light touches of this into the crevices and into the armor pieces. So basically where we couldn't get that grim black, we're going to start putting just some like very thin lines of shading in here. So you can just see here, we're just going to punch up the contrast in between those armor plates. And we don't want it to pool really at all. This is more of just like a glazing. We're just putting in the shadow. Also, why do all the clones have that same accent? Because the Kaminoans raised them. Somebody raised them. It wasn't Jango Fett, and they wouldn't have that accent. I mean, like, that's not how accents work. Star Wars is weird when it comes to accents. It's better to not delve into it. We're going to take some cold gray and some dark blue gray, and we're going to mix that together, and we're just going to do a quick little edge highlight just on the raised spots of Rex's bum skirt and also on his shoulder pad. Also going to put these on the pouches that Rex has. And we're going to take some Terracota here, and this is just going to go on the soil parts on some of the bases. I did one of the metal bases already I showed for my Asajj Ventress video, but this one I'm going to show the earth side. And we're going to take some khaki, and we're just going to do a dry brush on there, but it's going to be sort of a mix between a heavy and light dry brush. We're going to take some Tar Gore Raid Shade, which is still the funniest name of a paint ever, and we're just going to put that all over that base that we just did. Once that is dried, we will put a black rim around the base, and these guys are done. And here they are all finished up, and you know what? Honestly, they look pretty good. This is a really easy way to do clone troopers or stormtroopers. I'm pretty happy with these, and Rex looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Went a little too heavy apparently on his groin plate with the weathering, but whatever. So that's a quick and easy way to do stormtroopers or clone troopers. All my Shatterpoint stuff, I'm trying to not use the airbrush. I'm trying to make this as accessible for anyone without using anything fancy or expensive. That black wash that I make is just a combination of matte medium, flow improver, black ink, and water. And you can get all that stuff at your local store. There'll be an initial investment of probably like, well, in Canada it's probably like $30 to $35, but you can make a ton of wash. I bought those materials like a year and a half ago, and I still have lots to make more. So you got a painting tutorial and how to save some money, which is pretty good considering how much everything in the world costs right now. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and you guys have a great day. So today we're going to be painting Rex in the 501st from Star Wars. Make sure we also put this on these pouches that Rouch is Rex and pouch.